Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm participating in Kiki Halbert's monthly YouTube collaboration, Scrapbooking From The Heart. We create layouts inspired by one-word prompts and encourage you to look at your stories in more depth. August's prompt is relax. Here's the layout I'm going to be creating. My story is going to be about enjoying the simple stuff. So how does this relate to relaxation? I'm going to explain this at the end of the video when I share some tips about journaling. Before jumping in, I just want to mention I listed links to all the other participants below in the description box, and these ladies are really talented, so be sure to check them out. Here's the material I've selected, and most of it comes from Jen Hadfield's Reaching Out collection. So let's get started. Here's what's on my desk. I have the paper, and that gray cardstock is going to be my foundation page. The other papers are from the Jen Hadfield Reaching Out collection. The only one that isn't is that graph paper there. That is from Photoplay paper. It's from one of their quarantine collections. I bought a bunch of it back in the day simply because I love lined paper for journaling. I have 3 photos here. 2 of them I have double matted. One of them has one mat, and I'll create the second mat throughout the process. And I do have this tray handy full of embellishments. The first thing I'm going to do is create my foundation page. So you're going to see I'm going to be cutting up a bunch of paper, and this is going to be a very simple but effective page design. So I'm cutting down these papers and I'm putting measurements on the screen. However, I do want to point out the measurements on the screen are for visible page parts only. That's because when I adhere the pieces to the page, you're going to notice I do a lot of tucking. So the only piece of paper that I'm cutting that is real size written on the screen is that lime green paper. All of the other pieces are a little bit wider. You can see Chester has shown up after several weeks of sleeping in the sun when I do my filming. Anyway, now I'm adhering all the pieces together, and what you see me doing is adhering that graph paper on top of that floral rainbow. I have a larger strip and a narrower strip. The narrower one is going to go on the top, the larger one on the bottom. And you're going to see there's a space in between the two. That's because I am going to be adhering that green border across the middle, so I didn't want to waste any paper. And my photos are going to be adhered along that border. So now I'm showing you everything is adhered together. I am going to place my photos on the page, but I am going to want to create a photo mat for that third photo that's going to be on the left. Now in this case, I'm just creating a little book. That's because I'm going to incorporate an extra photo and hidden journaling a little bit later on. So all I did was cut the same size photo mat, except I made it twice as long, and I folded it in the middle and created a little fold over, and it creates a simple and easy book. What you'll also see in a moment is I'm going to create a little tab, just a prompt to put on that little flap. That way people will know there is something to open, because this page will be under a page protector. Personally, I do not cut a hole in my page protector so that the flap can be opened up. That is something that some people may like to do. I'm afraid that the page protector would rip, so I just create a little tab there, which is a prompt for somebody, a viewer, to open it up if they desire. But you're going to see later on when I do my journaling, some of it's going to be on the front of the page as well. What you see me using there is a tear and tape, which is a little bit more tough than what I'm used to using when I create a page. And it's something I often use when I create an interactive element on a scrapbook page. I just want it to be tough because the piece will be opened and closed, so I want it to really adhere to the page. That's all down now. I have my big shot out, and what I'm going to do is create myself a little tab. Now I have an old tab die from Stampin' Up. I use it all the time, so I'm creating myself a little file tab. However, if you do not have a file tab die, A tab is really, really easy to create. All you have to do is either cut out or punch out a little piece that you're going to adhere on the inside of that book. That could be a circle punch, a square punch, or simply cut yourself out a little rectangle and adhere it to the inside of the flap. So there I have it all down. I'm happy with that. And you can see I have my embellishing around me, including my title. So those alphas are from Simple Stories, and my title is going to be Enjoy the Small Stuff. So Enjoy Small Stuff is in the green letters. I want the to be smaller, and what I found here is an old title pack from a past Jen Hadfield collection. And from the word heart, I took out the T, H, and E, so I'm going to use the for it. It's the perfect size for it, and I don't mind scrapping the word heart for the word the. At least I'm using the material. Now what I'm going to do, before digging into the ephemera and the stickers, I want to create some embellishment foundation clusters, basically the foundation layers to embellishment clusters. So I was looking for a punch or a die that was about an inch big, no bigger, so that I could cut out flowers within the stripes of that floral rainbow on that Jen Hadfield paper. And to my surprise, with all the tools I had almost no flowers that were about an inch big. What I found was this die from Lawn Fawn, which is an add-on to their reveal wheel. Basically, it punches out in two parts, so there's like a flower ring and the circle, which wasn't really what I was looking for, but it was the best I could do. So you can see me cutting out a bunch, and I do a bunch more off camera as well. And you're going to see I end up having to adhere a circle behind it just so that I could adhere the two pieces together. Now what I'm doing is taking out a leaf punch, an old one from Stampin' Up, and the green part of that floral rainbow, I'm punching out some leaves. So I do like how that looks, that floral rainbow paper, because to be perfectly honest, when I first saw it, I didn't know what to do with it. So you can see there I have a pile of flowers beside me, a pile of punched out leaves, and I do have my other embellishing around me as well. So I'm creating two main embellishment clusters around the title areas, and later on I'll come in and add a third one to create a visual triangle. I'm starting with the titles. I'm coming in by building those floral clusters. The one at the bottom is a little bit bigger with 3 flowers, the one at the top 2 flowers. And now I want to add something else within those embellishment clusters. I had a look at the ephemera, and now I'm going into the sticker sheet. I put a few larger pieces on wax paper, ripped up the wax paper, and I'm just placing the pieces within the clusters. So I repeat that peacock bird that's on that sticker sheet. He's kind of funny and cute. I put one in each cluster. I have a little sun that I put in the top cluster. Anyway, I've got a few bits and pieces around. I do want to add something up there in the top right corner, but I think I say this in every video. When I have too many loose pieces going on when I'm building these embellishment clusters, at one point I just have to bite the bullet and start adhering, because I kind of can't think past my nose at this point. And once I do that, then I can move on and add the finishing touches. So you can see there I've added some pieces down, then I adhered the title down, and then I'm coming in and adding some more pieces. That's because the title overlapped some of the elements, and some of the elements are going to overlap the title. That's why I'm doing it in shifts. And then I'll do the same thing at the top left of the page. So I'm adhering the sticker down, the flowers down. In each one of those clusters, there are pieces that are raised up on foam adhesive. Essentially, in each cluster, one of the flowers is popped up with some foam adhesive. Then what I'll do is stop the film, and I'll continue with my title here, and then I'm going to come back and add my finishing touches. So I want to add the word the in those small puffy gold letters, and I'm just putting it on top of the peacock feathers. Now I'm going to add a few pieces of ephemera up there in the top right corner to create a subtle visual triangle. Again, not much, but just a little tiny hint. And then what I'll do is I'm going to come in, I want to repeat the puffiness that's in the title, I want to repeat that gold elsewhere on the page. And I do have somewhere on my desk here some puffy gold hearts, which again are from a past Jen Hadfield collection. And I'm just going to add a few up there in the top left where you see me putting them right now. And I just simply add one more down in the bottom in the middle of that flower. And I'm pretty much done here. All I'm going to have to do, of course, is add something to that tab because I want to add a word in that tab. And then I have to do my journaling and add a photo in the flip, and you'll see that in a moment. I'm looking for these words here. It's part of the sticker book from the Jen Hadfield collection, and I find the words peace out, which I find kind of funny, and it is kind of what this layout is about. I decide between the pinky colors and the black. They are the same words, but in different colors, and I end up going with the black, or maybe it's a really dark navy blue. So I'm pretty much finished here. Like I said, I do have to add the journaling to it, and I end up adding an extra photo, so you're going to see that right now. Anyway, and before reading my journaling, I just want to share an idea on how to use a word prompt as a jumping off point. It's simple. Grab the dictionary or consult your online source, whatever you use. But it's a great way to stimulate your creativity. I did this for the word relax, and yes, there are many definitions, but one really stuck with me. Engage in an enjoyable activity so as to become less tired or anxious. This definition had more to do with doing than resting, and reading the definitions made me think about how I enjoy relaxing. So here's my story. It's about a small but enjoyable moment where I stepped away from my daily routine and engaged in an enjoyable activity, which caused me, to use the definitions term, to be less anxious. So here I go. On a whim, after enjoying our weekly pizza at the Boîte à Pain, we crossed the street to explore l'église Notre-Dame de Foix on the corner of Chemin Sainte-Foy and Route de l'Église. The 19th century structure burnt for the third and last time in 1977, and its remains have intrigued me since I first laid eyes on them in 1985, the year I moved here. Once across the threshold, we found ourselves in a charming manicured park. A staircase led to a lookout with a magnificent view of our city. It's amazing how a spontaneous 15-minute adventure is good for the soul. Église Notre-Dame de Foix, Sainte-Foy, Quebec, August 1st, 2021. So that's it. A fast and easy layout design, an easy flip technique to incorporate extra photos and hidden journaling, and a tip to get your creative juices flowing when using a word prompt as a jumping off point. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And if you are subscribed, thank you so very much for your support. Don't forget to check out the other participants. Their links are in the description box below. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.